So I think, if you looked at historically how we all worked together, we're a manufacturer as well, so we have those conversations with ourselves, right? If you look historically at how companies focused, they didn't think of themselves as a business building or maintaining and deploying software. They had a piece of software like an ERP system or an MES system in their company, but otherwise it was a very largely manual or even if automated physical process. Now companies are understanding they need to be one part software company. So they're talking to us about how to digitize and how to digitally manage and the skills that are needed to do so, and what you need to monitor, how you need to run the business differently, because software or digitalization, becoming a digital industrial is what people need to embrace now. How do we need to manage differently? What type of reporting, what type of skills are needed? And that's a very different conversation than the days of just, if you want to make some improvements in a factory, you just focus on automation. We certainly are. So as companies start to use these technologies, it has a real impact in their business. And I can give you a very clear example with GE. And of course, many of our clients have already started to use this, so they each have their own stories to tell in terms of the real savings. But for GE, last year alone, in 2016, we deployed across the world in various factories our brilliant manufacturing software, our asset performance management software, so predictive maintenance and productivity improvements in every part of the process that you could have in a factory. And we delivered $730 million in productivity gains just last year. This year, we're targeting $1 billion. That's just inside GE, and we're on track to deliver that. And we've got example after example as clients in the market start to pick this up and use it. They each have their own stories, 20 million here, 50 million there, etc. So it's real, it's happening today, and our goal is to get everybody driving just as much productivity gains as we are. So most of the time when people think of productivity gains in manufacturing, they think about automation. And we have a great productivity suite with automation, but that's been in use for some time, and it's much, much more than just automation. So today you can actually map every activity from literally product inception, right, design of the product, to delivery in the market, including the logistics, and you can collect data and measure exactly what's happening every stage of the way. So we have productivity gains, not just in what we're manufacturing and how quickly, but looking at things like wastage, spillage, downtime, equipment health, design time, and how you shorten those timelines. So literally at every stage in the manufacturing process, call it the digital thread, it's connecting everything from the beginning of the design process to delivery in the market and consumption of the product, every stage of that, and you can make productivity gains and process improvements every step of the way. So every client is a different pain point, every company is working on something different. You do it across the entire value chain of activities. So the biggest barriers are almost always the human ones, right? We all want to make investments knowing the exact payback. If you take the example of our power circuit breaker plant, we've had payback in multiple places along the value chain of activity, but I couldn't tell you before we implemented it exactly what that would be in every place. What I can tell you is in example after example, it's never not paid off. It's always given anything, from a 1% to a 20% gain. And most people at any level, mid-level, C-level, it doesn't matter. People struggle with making a decision to spend money when they don't know the precise payback. The other barrier, of course, is often just as companies skill up their own workforce and hire more people who are used to working with this sort of software, that starts to go away. But taking the big bets and jumping in because technology always pays off, is something we all need to learn to do.